Well, Miss Hazel, I guess you figured out now that you're not on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You're actually on Basketball Wives. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be my review for Basketball Wives season 6 and episode 12. So like I said, Hazel has come on to Basketball Wives, and her biggest thing is, I'm above the drama. This whole thing, I'm just too good for that and all of that. And I've been side-eyeing her the whole time, like, yeah, okay, girl, why are you here? If you're so good, why are you here? But then I think she started to see that when the drama ensues, maybe this is a little bit of fun. So she decided to delve into the drama this week. And we're going to talk about exactly what happened and how she realized really, really quickly that this is not the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, so first things first. First thing we see, Evelyn is really going through it. It's the next day. She is going through changes because she's crying and carrying on. She feels as though she has let her supporters and the people who are backing her down. She's worked so hard to change her image from when she was on the show originally that her snapping out on Jackie, she feels like she went quite a few steps backwards into the old Evelyn, and that she's let people down who were supporting her. Girl, it is what it is. It just is what it is. Bonnie Jill and Shawnee were, just talking with her, and they're like, girl, it's cool. It is what it is. So, in the meantime, between time, I actually see you got Tammy is actually out with Jackie and Sania. Tammy, and I'm wondering if this is going to end up being a problem, but Tammy is basically agreeing with Jackie that Jackie did not start it. That the whole thing about kids being thrown in, that Evelyn threw the first stone by saying, you need to go take care of your grandkids. So Tammy was, again, I just felt like Tammy, y'all just fixed whatever y'all got. Girl, just shut up. But she didn't. She said it like 2-3 times on screen that she felt as though Evelyn threw the first stone, and it was what it was. So hopefully that won't cause a problem with the two of them. But if it does, oh well, whatever. So that you got that whole thing going on. Next thing they're doing, they're actually talking about this whole thing. Sania is actually having a party, and it's her family and friends from New York are basically kind of just celebrating her coming back and visiting, that kind of thing. So that's the next thing that they're all getting ready for. Tammy also had a thing where she put Bonnie Jill. She wanted to put Bonnie Jill and crazy ass Jackie together so they could fix whatever problems they have. So we're like, okay. Before we did that, Tammy was out with her daughter, and we actually saw her in the studio. We saw her do a little bit of her rap. The guys that were there, they actually liked it. They really did sit down, and everybody came to an agreement. So she is now signed. So her dreams are actually starting to come to fruition, and they were all happy about that. That was real nice. Let's move on. We do all that. Okay. Meantime, there was a meeting with Bonnie Jill, Shawnee, Evelyn, and Hazel. Hazel brought her girlfriend, Ashley. So we get to meet Ashley. Hazel has already said that Ashley is very outspoken, a bit messy, if you will. Okay, so we find out real fast about Hazel's friend Ashley. When she gets there, Ashley knows Sania and doesn't really care for Sania. Reason being is that she did the dumb thing that people do. She let Sania into her world. Okay, she was actually messing with a ball player, and Sania was his stylist. She invited her into their bedroom. He basically liked Sania's pussy so well that Ashley ended up outside the bedroom, and Sania was still fucking her man. He actually became Sania's man. So Ashley ended up finding herself out of the situation altogether. So it was what it was. She then began to tell the girls that Sania is a whore. Sania used to be real thin, so they're saying her titties and her butt are fake. Titties may not be totally fake, but her butt and stuff is totally fake, that she used to have a flat pancake ass. And the girls were, they were eating this shit up like grits with shrimp. I said, oh my God. So I was like, this is going to be a mess. So then Hazel decides to be messy and say, oh yeah, I'm going to bring Ashley with me to the party. Now, you tell me why she felt the need to bring Ashley to the party. All the things that Ashley had just said about Sania, why would Ashley even want to come to the party? Because she's a messy bitch. And right then, Shawnee said right on screen to Hazel, oh, you're bringing Ashley? Messy boots. She said it. They wrote it on the screen. Messy fucking boots. So I'm saying, okay, Hazel, now we're getting to see you, because I knew you weren't all goody two-shoes like you said you were. Your ass is messy too, because that's a requirement. You've got to be messy or be willing to be messy. So I said, all right, Miss Hazel, so you go start some of your shit. So they had actually, and it was funny because Evelyn and they were talking about how it would take two bitches to take Sania down because she's a big, Xena warrior bitch. So I'm laughing. I said, oh, this is going to be a mess. So the next thing you know, like I said, Tammy goes out with Jackie. Jackie and Bonnie Jill. Bonnie Jill does what she does, and she spills all the fucking tea while they're at this Five Below. As Jackie's playing her part, she's in there talking about how cold it is and how she want to get fucked up in there, and how her nipples are. She's so disgusting. Just so ridiculous. And Tammy says 20 below zero, and she's horny. What the hell? Weird. But anyway, so she spills all the tea. Jackie says, well, Sania is my friend, so I'm going to have to tell Sania about what's going on. And this Ashley person, baby, when we get to the party, cute little party, little quaint little, little cute little party, Jackie, right away, pulls Sania to the side, tells Sania, yeah, there's this supposed Ashley girl. She's afraid of Hazel's, and she's supposed to be coming to the party tonight. She's like, Ashley. They made her know which Ashley it was. She said, oh, okay. She ain't coming here. She's like, yeah, girl, she's coming here. At that point, we start seeing Sania. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I start seeing Sania getting liquored up, baby. She's hitting his drinks. Every time you see her, she's sipping in his cup. I said, now y'all know what happens when Sania gets drunk. Honey, she was just sipping, honey. Baby, last ones to get there, Ashley and Hazel. They roll through. Real cute. And they're making the entrance. They know they're making the entrance and being shady. And they roll up in there. Baby, Sania took no time, honey. The girls was giving greetings and salutations. Honey. She rolled up through there, baby, and gave tap, tap, tap onto Miss Ashley and said, girl, how did you get invited here, honey? What are you doing here? Honey, she gonna look at her all shitty and say, Hazel invited me. She said, so why would you bring her here? Are you trying to be messy and trying to start some stuff? This is a function with me and my family and my personal friends. And she is not one of my personal friends. And y'all need to get on up out of here. Hattie Hazel was given, so you want us to leave? She's like, yeah. Like, now. I was like, whoa. So Hazel's like, well, everybody else is here. You just want us to leave? Like, what is that all about? Well, I'm not leaving. Aren't you? Aren't you? Now, this is the thing. Nobody told them how fast Sania really reacts when she has a situation, because this is the first situation that we've actually seen Sania have. When I tell you that Sania had no more words, baby, she gave Hazel, I said, oh! She hauled off and slapped the goddamn dog park walking shit out of motherfucking Hazel. Smacked the shit out of her. And then Hazel and Ashley both try to jump her. Baby, she was giving them this. Tearing their asses up, honey. I said, oh my God. She was banging and shaking both of them, honey. Banging and shaking, honey. I said, oh, child, it was terrible. Child, them folks got to scurrying around out here and trying to break everything up. I said, oh my gosh. So they had Sania, where Sania said, now, like I said, get them the fuck out of here. She said, I'm going to, that bitch was so cool. I'm going to the motherfucking bathroom. And when I come back, them bitches better be gone. And Shawnee's like, get them on, get them on, get them on. She snap, crack, poppled them so quick. Hattie, they didn't know what to do. Shawnee was like, it was so bad, Shawnee was ready to leave New York altogether. Okay? That was the end of the whole fucking trip. Miss Sania, honey. I said leave. Yes, God, honey. Now, Tammy's outside giving very much of, I think that's it for me and Miss Sania. Because Hazel's my niece. You can't be smacking on my niece. But she did smack your niece. Old tough ass Tammy. She smacked the shit out of your niece. Not just once, but several times. And you didn't jump up there and fight her. Because you so motherfucking tough, right, Tammy? You did not jump up to fight her, bitch. You jumped up to try to get your niece the fuck out of there before she got hit number 5, 6, and 7. But you didn't jump up to fight her, and you didn't tell her that you ain't fucking with her no more. Because you a bad bitch, right? And on that, that's all that I have to say. That was the end. Girl, she ended the program and the motherfucking New York trip. Smacked her goddamn face. And like I said, Hazel found out very quickly, this is not the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They don't throw drinks. They whoop your ass quick, fast, and in a hurry. Later.